Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cochise County. I'm back with another progress update, and I know it's been a couple months since the last video, so there's a lot of new work to show you, and I'll just walk around the house and show you all the progress we've made. Okay, so here we are at the front of the house, and I went back and looked at the last video I posted. There was no plaster on these two domes, and the other big update is I've put windows in the dome, thanks to my neighbor Tom for helping with that. And you can see we've put a lot of work into plastering. This has been a big group effort as well as a lot of work on my own to try to smooth out the shape of the domes. When you build with SuperAdobe, there's a lot of ridges between the bags, so as much as possible I would like a nice smooth shape to the domes. I just kind of have to balance that with finishing this in a reasonable time, and the monsoon is starting. You can see the clouds back there, so I'd like to get this thing painted and all of the entrances sealed up to get ready for the rain. But this is a new addition to the house, which is one of the coolest things so far. So huge thank you to my neighbor Ashley and my friend Alexis and also Peter for helping with this feature. This is going to be the shower, and we did this awesome bottle brick window with a big clear piece of glass in the middle. I'll show you the view from the inside, but there's a really great view of the mountains out here. So I am really happy with how this came out. This is an example of the type of art project I was talking about that I would like to have in the house and just around the property, where I give somebody total creative control over an artistic or creative feature and just let them go to town. So Alexis came up with the design for this and put all the work into cutting the bottles, and then Alexis and Peter figured out how to cob that in and engineer that in there. And I'll show you how it looks from the inside. It's really colorful. So I'm just so happy with that, and I hope that was a fun activity for Alexis and a creative expression, an opportunity for that. So I'll keep going on the tour. We've been working pretty hard to get this final coat of plaster on here. Trying to get it as smooth as possible. It's a little hard because the sand we're working with has potentially pieces up to 1/4 inch in size. So it's only possible to get it so smooth without sifting the sand, which I really just don't want to do because of the time commitment, and functionally it doesn't make a huge difference. But we've been doing the best we can to have a nice aesthetic finish to this thing. And this is one of the windows I put in. So it's a standard window I got from Home Depot. Whoop. And basically we put a wooden sill on the bottom and top, and then just plaster that in. And I mean, it's in there. It's not going anywhere. And so that's great. So starting to look more like a finished house. You can see the dome with the skylight, how that's coming out up there. So there's still a lot of work left, but I think I'm relatively close to getting this thing sealed off from the elements. I'm hoping to get some doors in the near future. I started painting the outside of the dome just to kind of see what the texture was looking like. This is elastomeric roofing paint, and then I have a tinted color that will get applied over that. And probably will use a paint sprayer. If Ashley's watching this, I do want to use the paint sprayer. I just, like I said, I just wanted to see what the texture was looking like with the paint on there. So that's going to get 2 coats of paint, and you can see the other windows over there. It is fun for me just to look back. I feel like the progress is kind of slow, especially when I'm just working by myself. But when I look back, I mean, 2 months ago, these domes, we had just finished the workshop, and there was no plaster on these or windows or anything. So we are making a ton of progress. And so here's what the window looks like from the inside, and you can see the colors really come through on the inside. So like I said, it's literally how we drew this up on paper, and it's just perfect how the view is preserved. So I'm about to put some exterior plaster on that because the cob will kind of dissolve in the rainwater. Other than that, there's not many changes to the interior, and I apologize for all of the clutter. This is a storage slash temporary living space. But I guess the main change is I've taken the window forms out, so I can kind of get a better feel for the space. This will be the kitchen, and long term I'd like to have some stained glass in these arch parts up there. Probably just going to put in some temporary thing to fill that in the meantime. And then this is the first dome that we built. So again, there's a window in there, which is cool. And I have been sleeping in here at night. And those are most of the main updates. So I'll just keep kind of walking around and chatting about the process. But like I said, the plastering is a huge effort, and fortunately I've had a couple weekends where some friends came out, so we've had a group of about 4 or 5 people. That was probably 2 different weekends, and then Peter and Alexis have been coming back and hanging out and helping out with this a lot. And I have been doing a lot of plastering on my own. Things definitely go slower as a solo effort, but it's also kind of satisfying because you know, I can kind of control how the finished product looks. So that's kind of it. The heat has been a big challenge lately, obviously. The summers are really hot here, so the last couple weeks of June, it's been close to 100 a lot of days. The monsoon kind of started kicking in last week, so we did get rain one day, and the temperatures were back in the mid 90s. It's just really hot whenever the sun is on you. So close to 100 today, and I'm kind of just hiding out in my trailer during the day and waiting for it to cool off. But looks like we're supposed to get more rain this week. So anyway, this is mostly just to show you the progress and how things are looking, and I think it's looking really awesome. I'm really happy with how it's coming out. It has been a constant effort by me, and there's a lot of work ahead, but nothing that I don't there's nothing I don't think we can accomplish. And yeah, I'll probably show another update once this whole thing is painted and closer to the final product. So until then, I will talk to you later.